Good morning and welcome to RANsquawk's morning briefing for Wednesday the 21st of April. In terms of the Asian session, did see some very good gains in Nikkei overnight, up 1.75%. That was driven by the tech stocks after Apple reported after market yesterday rose over 8% in extended hours after much better than anticipated numbers. However, that gains in equity markets has been short-lived after opening slightly higher in the UK and European equities. We have drifted now into negative territory and bunds have been creeping higher. It's been very much still the ongoing fears on whether or not Greece will enact that aid mechanism. The EU officials are arriving today in order to conclude those talks, but it still remains to be seen whether they will trigger that aid. In regard to the 10-year bond yield spread between Greek and Bund, that is now 10 basis points shy of the key 500 level, which is pretty much unprecedented level a few months back. So we'll be keeping a close eye there. And elsewhere as well, much of the negative sentiment's being driven by Portugal, where the Wall Street Journal's heard it on the street column said or questioned very much the contagion effects, which could well be leaking into the Portuguese market, which is very much second on the hit list in terms of poor finances and public finances for the EU states. As such, that Portuguese spread, that's also widened 12 basis points, which is a very significant amount given the historic averages on the daily moves. And then also there as well, we've just seen the latest in the Portuguese auctions in both a 3-month and a 9-month, which, although the bids and covers weren't too bad, the average yields there were extremely high. And indeed, as well over in Greece, we have seen the domestic Greek 10-year bond yield now go over 8%. So it would be extremely hard now to refinance in the markets for Greece, making it ever more likely that they'll turn to the EU. In terms of elsewhere, in terms of the UK, we've already seen the latest jobs numbers and the Bank of England minutes. The minutes themselves, nothing too much, unanimous there to keep rates on hold and the QE on hold at 200. However, the jobless numbers were, or the jobs data was a lot better than expected, and that has risen or given a lift to cable back above 154.00. Looking ahead, a lot of earnings to get through today. Some of the notable banks does include the likes of Wells Fargo and Morgan Stanley. We also have Boeing before the bell on Wall Street. In terms of US economic calendar, pretty quiet today. It's just the mortgage apps and all inventories later on today.